Yes, new reading within the life path numbers. Look a little bit weird on my hair today, but I guess authenticity is the best tool to reach out to people. So with that said, we have come to life path number 7. And you are the seeker, the mysticist, the seeker of the truth, knowledge, and maybe also spiritual wisdom. So I was sitting and thinking a little bit about maybe this is the category for those of you who are priests. So then this career choice for those of you who seek the truth. Of course, you are the scientist. We have psychology, philosophy, writers, journalists, analysts, engineer, detective, and yeah, I think that, and as I said, also with the priest, because you are seeking spiritual wisdom and are curious about that. So yeah, any type of priest. It's called different in different religions, of course. You have imam in the Muslim religion, and we have the rabbi within Judaism. So yeah, let's see. What is the message for you in the life path number 7? So, as you can see, I've pulled out some oracle cards that can give you the direction of the message for those of you who have life path number 7. And I was sitting and thinking about this life path because, of course, maybe you are working as a fact checker, you know? You're checking all information that is of course on the internet now, because like for example people posting on Wikipedia, and everyone can go in and write something in Wikipedia, and maybe that information is not always the truth. So I was sitting and thinking about this. If you have watched the movie The Miracle on Manhattan, it's an old movie from I think it's the 40s, 30s, 40s, something like that. But it was a remake in the 90s. Very cute, and a movie maybe in these days very underrated, because it's about, of course, a guy that is impersonating himself as Kris Kringle, and you know that Kris Kringle is the Santa Claus. And yeah, someone he got a job in a toy store. I think it's a toy store or something like that, and a huge store for Christmas, because he is so sincere and authentic, and yeah. And then something happened because of competition, and they want to destroy this Kris Kringle, and they want to make him be seen as a completely insane person, because you know, maybe you are the one that is questioning this You are like the prosecutor in that movie, who has to have the proof, that Kris Kringle is the real thing. And one other thing that the prosecutor do in this movie is that he brings with him a reindeer into the courtroom, and he's telling this Kris Kringle guy to make this reindeer fly. And of course, the magic thing is that the reindeers only fly on a certain day of the year. So it's a natural thing, of course, but to him it proves that this is a fake person. And he also draws in scientists who have been on Antarctica, and of course they haven't seen any villages, and Kris Kringle has, of course, a natural explanation for that too, because the village are invisible for people who doesn't believe, right? So yeah, so you are the skepticist, the cynicist, like that prosecutor, and maybe that is the flaw of yourself. So maybe it's a sign with this channeling of this movie. I highly encourage you, of course, to watch that movie. Maybe that will expand your point of view, because in the end, the judge is presented of an evidence that will, of course, release Kris Kringle so that he can perform his miracles on Christmas Day. So, of course, I highly encourage you to watch that movie, Miracle on Manhattan. So let's see. Offer. Yes, I saw this flip when I... this is, of course, dedicating yourself. You are so 100% dedicated to find the truth. You have maybe since childhood questioned each and everything, and you have found answers to somewhat that you seek, the mysteries of life. But of course, there are still mysteries in life that even you can't explain. And yeah, we can figure out each and everything by mathematics and by science and chemistry and you name it. But there are still some mysteries in life that even you maybe it's bothering you a little bit that you don't know the answer. And of course, the two biggest mysteries in life are: who are we? What is the soul? And the second thing is, of course, what happens when a child is born, because we don't exactly know how birth is timed. That is actually a mystery. And the time of what happens after life, right? So yeah, but this card is also about dedicating yourself so hard that you burn out. So there is a message for you to find the balance between searching and maybe searching and accepting without going further and digging, right? There's something about relaxing so you can accept that maybe there is no answer to your question. Receiving from angels. So if you are working as an analyst and a scientist, this is of course a very lonely job. And yeah, you spend maybe a lot of time by yourself, or maybe just with your near colleagues or a near colleague that share the same passion as you. And there is something about being more open-minded and maybe not isolate yourself to the wonders of life. Yeah. And the last, what did I say? Accept what is. Yes. I accept and embrace my inner majesty. And this is what you are supposed to work towards. Accepting that maybe there aren't an answer to your question. Maybe there is something that you have to accept, like the mystery of what happens after death. Where do your personality, where does it go? We know that we have of course all the figures and dates about what happens with the body, but what makes, without thinking about the machinery, the brain that thinks, the heart that beats, the circulation system, the respiratory system, the endocrine system, you name it, right? That is just a piece of the puzzle. But where does our personality go? And there is maybe something that you need to work towards, accepting that some things are not meant to be answered. Some things are not meant to be answered. Oh yeah. So with the tower here, since you are the truth seeker, of course, maybe you will reveal my god something significant for humanity. And one thing I was one good example that I can think about that has been to the good for the people was, of course, when Snowden revealed that people were being surveillanced without knowing it. Normal people that wasn't in politics, people that wasn't in a high position, just regular normal people. The guy working at the gas station, the cashier in Walmart, each and every one of us. Yeah. So he told the truth. And of course he was a researcher. He was hired as a researcher. And he was a fact checker. And but he couldn't live with himself sitting there and having surveillance on on regular people that was doing nothing wrong. So after that, after the revelation of this, we, at least here in Europe, the European Union, they decided a regulation about surveillance for the people living here in within the European Union, at least. So yeah, it has been very strict, and that is why, even though it's many years since he revealed this, and of course, laws maybe take time to be worked upon, and of course, it's about negotiations, etc., etc. But that is why each and every time you enter into a web page and you have to agree to all this information, blah 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 blah, you know. So yeah, it has become a little bit boring, to at least I must admit. I like that. I totally understand that we need to be protected in somewhat and some way, but I feel that it's, of course, our own responsibility. But if we weren't aware of that this was happening, of course, if Snowden hadn't told what was going on, we would, of course, live in oblivion. So maybe you are like Snowden, that you will reveal something like this, and yeah, his life totally changed, and yeah, there are still a bounty for him. So he still needs to live in exile, unfortunately. But I hope that he will be pardoned in someday, that he will be pardoned. So more messages for life path number 7. And of course, if you are working as a detective, right, you maybe come across many cruel things. It's very popular to watch detective series, you know, like serial killers and and you name it. I feel that in every crime series there are always a serial killer. I don't know if it's very usual that a serial killer exists. I have no idea. but yeah. Okay, let's see. Ooh, the 7 of coins, pentacles. What is happening with my brain? Suddenly it was just blown away. 7 of Pentacles with patience. Yes, of course you have to be patient to do whatever you do. It takes time. Especially, it reminds me of a Norwegian couple, a couple from my home country. They are both doctors, and they have done a lot of experiment and on the brain, and they won a Nobel Prize some years ago, and they still work to publish a new a new thing now. So yeah, of course you have to be patient when you do what you do. It takes time. Maybe it takes a whole lifetime for you to find out whatever you are seeking. If you, especially if you are working as a scientist or an analyst or a detective work too, right? Maybe especially if you work on cold cases. Yeah, you always seek the answer to the question, as I said, the mysteries of life. This is the magician. And the last one, this is the star with silence. Yeah, you work in silence, and it's a very lonely work you do. As I said, you maybe isolate yourself totally from the world for months, maybe years, to work on your project. And yeah, as a channel with Snowden, of course, he worked totally isolated, with no contact from to the outside world, because it was very hush hush, the thing that he did, right? So yeah, it's a lonely job. You can't share maybe many of the things that you are doing with others, and that is why you have to be patient. And maybe you have questioned yourself too. Why am I so dedicated towards this job? Why did I ever start? Why did I ever start on this project at all? But it's because your soul is seeking. It wants to seek and find for you to figure out this question and do it thoroughly. I guess that many of you have a doctoral degree within something, and maybe some of you won't look at a tarot reading like this to describe because you are, of course, the cynicist, the skeptic, and yeah, a tarot reading maybe is not your thing. Okay, so we have the Page of Cups with trust. So there is something about, even though you are a skeptic, even though you are the overthinker, the cynicist, there's something that you need to trust more within the universe, without questioning and without being given the answer in all aspects of your life, because there are something about, as I said in the intro, the mysteries of life. Amongst things, who is Santa Claus? Does Santa Claus exist? I was sitting and puzzling a little bit about a book I read many years ago, about the resurrection of Jesus. What if Jesus actually came down to earth one more time? Because we Christians, in Christianity, no, in Judaism, you are still waiting for Jesus to come. You don't believe that Jesus ever have arrived because you rejected the one that called himself Jesus, just like this Kris Kringle, as I talked about in the beginning of this video. And we Christian, we are also waiting for Jesus, because he has promised maybe to return. So this book is all about, what if Jesus came to Earth, would we recognize him? Would we acknowledge if there was, because there are so many people that are saying, I am Jesus, right? But it's like this guy, Chris Kringle, when this prosecutor asked him to make the reindeer fly. It's like this, right? Because we remember from the Bible that Jesus made the sick heal. He made a blind guy, that he could see. He also awoken a dead guy. So we want this character to perform like a magician, right? But trust that you don't have to do magic tricks to prove that you are anyone. That is maybe the lesson learned for you. So with that said, I wish you all the best for the future ahead, and thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck with your science project. I see you again in another reading very soon. Bye for now.